Ready whenever you are, Kerwin. We're good? All right. Welcome back to the Media Center with Nelly Korda, our defending KPMG Women's PGA Championship winner. That's got to be fun to hear. Welcome back. I know it's a different venue, but it still has to be a fun week for you to come back and first time defending a major title.
Yeah, it's going to be a super exciting and challenging week for sure, and I'm ready for it.
First, I want to look back a year ago. A lot has changed for you, certainly over the last year, but we'll look a year ago at Atlanta Athletic. What are your big takeaways from that week beyond the win? How important was that to you to really get that title and to be able to say Nelly Korda major champion?
Yeah, it was a big week, especially when I won, I become #1 player in the world too. That was definitely a big kind of step in my career that I could check that off my list. It obviously going into professional golf and playing this for a living and loving it so much, it's something that you want to do. You want to contend in majors, you want to win major championships, and you want to be the #1 player in the world. And to finally kind of get it done last year was really nice. And yeah.
And to do it all at once.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I couldn't have thought of a better way. Honestly.
How much did you learn about yourself as a player, as a person on and off the course from everything you achieved that week?
It feels like forever ago, honestly. I feel like the stars have to align for you to win just a regular event and to be a major championship as well. I feel like every time I put myself in contention and every single time I go out there on the golf course and play under pressure, I learn from it. I don't think I've changed a bunch in the past year, in a sense. I think I've just become a little bit more consistent and confident that I can win a major championship. But yeah, I think I've just kind of learned my way around the major championship week and not to put too much pressure on myself and to enjoy every moment too, because a lot of people emphasize major championship weeks so much and maybe they put a little too much pressure on themselves when at the end of the day you're playing with the same girls pretty much every single week and you're all going for the title. And I think the people that play the best enjoy themselves the most on the golf course.
So now we're here a year later. Certainly the last 4 months haven't been what you expected.
Yeah.
Things outside your control. But as I was saying yesterday, watching you in that playoff, you'd never know you were coming on such a long layover. Mm-hmm. How hard have you worked to get yourself back to clearly being back in playing shape as you head in here this week?
Yeah, I made sure that I was 100% before coming back and even just hitting golf balls. Obviously, my health came first. And once I was healthy and I did my rehab even just for my shoulder because I was struggling with that a little last year, I made sure that, I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I've said that a couple of times, but I'll continue to. And I made sure that also I had my coach there when I was hitting golf balls, Jamie Mulligan, for the first time. And I think that was really important for me because that was the longest time I think I've ever gone without hitting a golf ball. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, ever since I started hitting, it's just been kind of full throttle, and I've been practicing pretty much. I have not taken more than 2 or 3 days off since then, and I'm just happy to be out here playing competitive golf. And I gave myself a chance last week, and if you told me that when I was laying in the ER, I would have definitely been very happy with that.
Absolutely. You mentioned Jamie. I know he's a PGA professional. We're here with the PGA of America this week. Mm. How long have you been working with him, and what does he bring to your game?
Completely different perspective. He's probably the most positive person there is. I love just being in his presence. He's such a great guy. Unfortunately, he's not here this week. But I had him out at my first event at the Women's Open, and it was really, really nice to just have him out there. He's great. And we started working together kind of November of last year, I think. Maybe I think a little before October.
So one last question from me before we open it up. I believe you just finished up your Pro-Am.
Yes.
So you've seen Congressional. It's a beast.
Yep.
It's a big, beautiful course out there. What do you think it's going to bring to you guys when you tee it up tomorrow?
Thursday.
Yeah, my
good.
Wednesdays
like
are all
tomorrow. I
over
was like, is it already Wednesday? It
Maybe
just
24 hours.
yeah. It just depends on the weather we get. I think we're gonna get some weather on Wednesday evening and Thursday morning, which I think it's gonna soften up the golf course a little. And it just depends on how they set it up. It can be a big beast, or it could be a little soft like I saw this morning. I think they watered the greens, and it was a lot softer than when I was chipping in the afternoon. So it just depends on how PGA America is going to set up the golf course.
But overall, certainly a major test.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a really fun track.
Awesome. We'll open it up for questions, Steve, and then Amy.
Nelly, it's one thing to come back after a 4-month layoff and have one good round. To come back and be in contention the way you have been in a couple of events, what do you attribute that to?
It's a good question. I've put in a lot of work, honestly. I put in a lot of work into my body and also my golf game since I've been back, and I've just been about consistency, and I think it's also about the attitude you have on the golf course. I feel like the more you enjoy it out there, the better you play, the less you get kind of ticked off, the less things go wrong, I guess, in a sense. So since I've been back, I've made sure that I've had a good attitude and enjoyed every second of it, and I think that's contributed to my good play.
So would you say the fact that you missed it during that 4-month period has led you to have a much better attitude now as you play?
For sure, yeah. I think life is about perspective, and when you look at it a different way, you enjoy and you have a lot more respect for the game, and you're a lot more humble about it too, and you just enjoy yourself a lot more. And I think that goes a long way in golf, because golf is about, a lot of it is mental.
Amy, and then up front to Garrett.
Nelly, you talked about a lot of the work that you've put in recently. How has that changed at all over the last few months, given all that you've been through?
Like recently, like still on the road, if I'm still doing all that, I have a physio with me, and I do a lot of pre-round stuff and post-round, so I'm still working hard. I'm still making sure that I'm doing everything just so I don't go back to my shoulder injury. So I've definitely putting a lot more time into my body, in a sense being what my parents say, a little bit more professional.
Heard Tiger Woods talk over the years about that it takes him hours to get ready to come up, get ready or after a round. How long does it take you to sort of, get ready and then at the end of the day, what's that sort of look like for you?
I typically get to the golf course 2 hours before my tee time, and after, it just depends on my body. Obviously, if I'm not hitting it well, I'll have a little warm down, but I'll always have an hour session with my physio as well after.
Garrett?
Hey, Nelly, you mentioned this is going to be a really fun track this week here at Congressional. Mm-hmm. What about the challenge of going up and seeing approach shots where you can't even see the bottom of the pins in some of these holes? What do you make of that challenge? Yeah,
there's definitely a lot of blind approach shots. I think more into the front nine than the back nine. There's definitely one that's a little scary into the back nine. I think it'll be fun. I don't think I've played a golf course where I've had so many blind approach shots in. Definitely not going to be saying good shot too early this week, but it's a really fun track, and PGA America can do whatever they want with it. They can make it extremely hard, or they can make it scoreable as well. So I think it'll be a lot of fun to see how the week plays out.
And you mentioned there's a scary one on the back. Like which hole are you thinking of?
I'm pretty sure it's like, I don't know what number it is, but there's like a long pole behind it. I think it's like you can see it from the clubhouse. I think maybe 15.
Yeah, the flagpole.
Yeah, yeah, 15.
And just it's scary in the sense that it's hard to get depth control of it.
Well, correct. You just have to trust it, right? You just have to trust that you have to go left of it, and you can't see the pin. You don't know how it's going to bounce because it's the contour of the green is pretty crazy too. And I mean, I've said so much about the blind approach shots, but these greens are crazy too. So if they speed them up and then they get firm, it could be really tough as well.
Thanks.
Anything else for Nelly? All right, you are teeing off Thursday, not tomorrow, with Inby and Brooke. That's a pretty powerful trio there. What's thoughts of playing with two other KPMG champions? You're part of that group now.
Yeah, the amazing feeling. Obviously, I played with Brooke the first 2 days last week, so we'll have a lot to talk about again. But I'm just hopefully, I'll take today rest day in the afternoon and tomorrow prep again, and hopefully, we can showcase some good golf.
Love it. No doubt you will. Thanks,
Thank
Nelly.
you.
Thank you, Nelly.